Americans spend $60 billion a year on supplements. Most of it is wasted money. I went through the peer-reviewed research, published in Nature, Aging, Nature Communications, and the Journal of Sports Nutrition, and only 5 supplements have consistent, replicated evidence in human clinical trials. Not mouse studies, not influencer opinions. Human trials. And I'll be honest with you about something. The most popular longevity supplement everyone's talking about right now, the one all over TikTok and YouTube, the science doesn't support it the way you think. I'll tell you which one and what actually works instead. But first, let's start with the one that costs you less than a cup of coffee per week. Quick context before we start. I'm not a doctor. What I am is someone who reads the actual studies, not the headlines, not the marketing, the actual papers published in medical journals. Every claim I make in this video has a source linked in the description below. You can check every single one. Number 1 is so boring, so cheap, and so unglamorous that most supplement companies don't even bother marketing it. And that's exactly why. You're probably not taking it. Magnesium glycinate. Here's what the research says. A systematic review and meta-analysis published in BMC Complementary Medicine, combining data from randomized controlled trials with 151 older adults, found that magnesium supplementation reduced the time it takes to fall asleep by an average of 17 minutes compared to placebo. That's significant. That's not a marketing claim. That's pooled data from multiple trials. Now, why does this matter for longevity? Because sleep is one of the single biggest levers for how fast you age. And here's the part most people don't realize. An estimated 50% of Americans are not getting enough magnesium from their diet. It gets depleted by stress, by caffeine, by common medications like proton pump inhibitors. You could be deficient right now and have zero idea. What I take, magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams before bed, cost about $7 to $15 a month. Glycinate, specifically because it's better absorbed and gentler on the stomach than magnesium oxide, which is the cheap version most stores sell. Now, if magnesium helps you sleep, the next one helps you keep the one thing that most directly predicts whether you live or die after age 65. And it's not a drug. It's a $20 tub of powder. Creatin Monohydrate. Most people associate creatine with bodybuilders. That's outdated. A comprehensive narrative review published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition in 2025, mine, most current review available, concluded that creatine supplementation in older adults has, quote, beneficial effects on lean body mass, muscle strength, bone area and thickness, functional ability, and cognition. That's not one benefit, that's 6. Now, here's why this matters more than you think. Sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, is one of the strongest predictors of mortality in older adults, stronger than cholesterol, stronger than blood pressure in some studies. Losing muscle after 50 doesn't just make you weaker. It increases your risk of falls, fractures, hospitalization, and premature death. Creatine, combined with any form of resistance exercise, directly counteracts that. The dose in most studies, 3 to 5 grams per day, of creatine monohydrate. Not HCl, not buffered, not fancy plain monohydrate. It's the most studied form. Cost, about $50 a month. 2 down, 3 to go. And the next one might be the single most important finding in longevity research from the last 12 months. A clinical trial with 777 people published in one of the most prestigious journals in the world. Number 3. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. Now, you've probably heard this one before. Fish oil, right? But here's what's new. In February 2025, a landmark study was published in Nature Aging. That's one of the top aging research journals on the planet. It was a clinical trial called Do Health, led by researchers from Harvard, the University of Zurich, and the University of Toulouse. 777 adults over 70 years old, randomized, controlled, 3 years of follow-up. What they found? 1 gram of omega-3 per day measurably slowed biological aging. Across multiple epigenetic clocks, the effect, up to 3.8 months of slower biological aging over 3 years. Now, 3.8 months might not sound like a lot, But here's the part that matters. This was with just one intervention. When omega-3 was combined with vitamin D and exercise, the effects were additive. They stacked. The same trial found that the combination of all three reduced prefrailty by 39% and invasive cancer incidence by 61%. I'll say that again, 61% reduction in invasive cancer. The dose in the DO Health trial, 1 gram of omega-3 per day. Look for supplements that list the actual EPA and DHA content. Not just fish oil 1000 milligrams. You want at least 500 milligrams combined EPA and DHA per capsule. That study I just mentioned, it also tested vitamin D, and what they found connects directly to our next supplement, and a mistake that up to 40% of Americans over 50 are making without knowing it. Number 4. Vitamin D3 paired with K2. The same DO Health trial I just referenced tested 2,000 IU of vitamin D per day and found it contributed to slowing biological aging when combined with the other interventions. But there's a separate study that's even more direct. Researchers at the Charité Hospital in Berlin followed over 1,000 older adults for 7.4 years. They compared people with vitamin D deficiency who started supplementing versus those who stayed deficient. The result? Those who corrected their deficiency had, on average, 2.6 years lower biological age on one epigenetic clock and 1.3 years lower on another, compared to those who remained deficient. Let me be very clear about what this means and what it doesn't mean. This does not mean vitamin D reverses aging. What it means is, if you're deficient, and a huge number of Americans over 50 are correcting that deficiency, is associated with measurably younger biological markers. The practical takeaway? Get your levels tested before you start supplementing. Your doctor can order a simple 2,5-hydroxyvitamin D blood test. Why K2? Because vitamin D increases calcium absorption, and K2 directs that calcium into your bones instead of your arteries. They work as a pair. The dose, in most research, 1,000 to 2,000 IU of D3 plus 100 to 200 micrograms of K2, specifically the MK7 form. Now, remember at the beginning when I said the most popular longevity supplement doesn't work the way people think? Here it is. Number 5, and I need you to hear this with an open mind. Number 5 is the one that's everywhere in the longevity world right now. NAD plus precursors. If you've seen any longevity content on YouTube or TikTok, you've heard about NMN, Nicotinamide Mononucleotide. Everyone from biohackers to podcasters is promoting it, but here's what the actual clinical evidence says. A randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, published in Nature Communications in 2018, showed that nicotinamide riboside, that's NR, not NMN, safely raised NAD+ levels in healthy middle-aged and older adults after just 6 weeks. The researchers from the University of Colorado Boulder also found preliminary signals of reduced blood pressure and arterial stiffness. A separate trial published in NPJ Aging confirmed it. NR raised NAD+ levels by approximately 40% at the recommended dose, sustainably, over 8 weeks, in adults aged 60 to 80. Now here's the honest part that most channels won't tell you. NR has stronger human evidence than NMN right now. NMN is promising, the early studies look interesting, but the human clinical trials are smaller and fewer. NR has multiple published, peer-reviewed human trials showing it safely raises NAD, and this is critical, neither NR nor NMN has proven that raising NAD+ actually extends human lifespan, yet the biology makes sense, the animal data is strong, the human data on actually living longer, it's not there yet. I'm including it on this list because the evidence for raising NAD+ safely is solid. But I'm being honest with you. Temper your expectations. This is a reasonable bet, not a miracle. If you want to try it, look for NR specifically, brands like True Niagen or Thorne Niacel that have been used in published clinical trials. Dose, 300 to 1,000 milligrams per day. Cost, this one's the most expensive on the list, around $49 to $110 per month. So let's bring it all together. Number 1, Magnesium Glycinate, the sleep fixer that most people are missing. $7 a month. Number 2, Creatine, the muscle protector that directly fights the #1 killer of independence. After 65, $50 a month. Number 3, Omega-3s, the only supplement proven in a 7-person trial published in Nature Aging to measurably slow biological aging. About $5 a month. Number 4. Vitamin D3 plus K2, the deficiency corrector linked to 2.6 years of younger biological age. Get tested first. $8 a month. Number 5. NR, the NAD plus booster with real human trial data. Promising, but not proven for lifespan yet. $17 a month. Total cost if you took all 5, roughly $87 to $120 a month. But honestly, if you can only afford one, start with magnesium and omega-3. They have the strongest evidence to cost ratio on this entire list. Now, here's what I want you to understand. Supplements are maybe 20% of the longevity equation. The other 80% is what you do every single day, especially while you sleep. And on Thursday, I'm breaking down something that shocked me when I read the research. How poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It literally accelerates every aging process in your body. And there's one specific mistake almost everyone, over 50 makes with their sleep that they have no idea is aging them faster. Subscribe so you don't miss it. One last thing, tell me in the comments, which of these 5 are you already taking and which one surprised you most? I read every single comment